emotional sometimes. Every time I see your face, ooh, get emotional. Oh.
Good morning, Unity of Walnut Creek.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing at home, watching online? How you doing outside, folks? Good to see you all your beautiful faces.
Yes.
So please rise in body or spirit. Join us in singing Love, Love, Love. Chris Foster.
Look.
One more time.
One more time. I was so ready.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Look into the mirror. What do you notice? Who do you see? God's own expression manifesting, perfect and holy. Okay, this part is easier.
I am pure and perfect. I am wonderful.
Everybody.
I am love, love, love in the mind of God.
See, that's not so hard.
I am free and endless. I am beautiful. I am love, love, love in the mind of God.
You got it.
Look into the mirror. What do you notice? Who do you see? God's pure potential manifesting, holy and fully. I am pure and perfect. I am beautiful and wonderful. I am love, love, love in the mind of God. I am free and endless. I am beautiful.
Now you're beautiful.
I am love, love, love in the mind of God. Look into the mirror. What do you notice? Who do you see? God's own expression manifesting, holy and fully. I am pure and perfect. I am wonderful. I am love, love, love in the mind of God. I am free and endless. I am beautiful. I am love, love, love.
What?
Oh, I am love, love, love.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am love, love, love in the mind of God. In the mind of God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. My name's Brenley.
And my name is Casey. Welcome to our service.
We want to greet and bless everyone who is watching online. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we are grateful that you are with us. Thank you for joining us today. Please join me in welcoming our guest musician, Simon Russell, joined by Joey on bass and Dan on the drums. Lisa is our Unity song leader today, and thank you for sharing your music with us.
Yep. Reverend Kristin will deliver today's message titled, I Am Remembering.
Before we begin, I invite you to turn your cell phones to silence so that we can enjoy this sacred service together.
Let's take a moment to be grateful for the land our center rests upon. This is Baby Walk in a Lonely Land. We honor, it's okay, I got you. We honor the Baby Walk and Ohlone people today and are grateful for those who stewarded this land before us. We commit to taking care of these sacred native grounds and Mother Earth. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision for this world is, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
And our mission is who we've come here to be. Let's say this together. We are a loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all. And our core values are love, connection, service, and wisdom.
I invite ushers forward with welcome packets. If you are with us for the first time, welcome. If you feel comfortable, please raise your hand. We may give you a welcome packet. Hi, welcome. We are so glad to have you with us today. We invite you to visit our bookstore across the patio after the service to receive a welcome gift, and we hope to choose to stay and visit us after the service.
Connection cards are available in the newcomer welcome packets and in the seat pockets in front of you. These are for everyone. With this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will be praying with you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback and request information. Please place your card in the basket with the offering. And for those of you viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page of our website. We have several activities to highlight this week.
Starting this week, the Women Walking in Wisdom group is changing their meeting days from Tuesday and Thursday to once a week on Wednesdays mornings at 9 a.m. Come to connect with other women, grow spiritually, and improve your health by walking.
Are you desiring connection and community? Come to Unity on the first Friday of the month for a new event called Seva Wheel for Unity. We'll journey together in ceremony and meditation through song, movement, and consciousness of our soul's true purpose. We'll end with a potluck and Seva time where we'll talk about selfless actions and potential projects. Bring your meditation pillow, drums, and a dish to share.
Are you feeling the aches and pains of a fully lived life? Still gets a laugh. Or are you healing from a physical or emotional injury? If you are having health challenges of any kind and you want to experience more wellness, connect with Unity's Healing and Wellness Support Group. Starting on June 7th, the group will meet at 1 p.m. on Zoom. Life coach Edna Castile will guide participants through spiritual healing and mindset practices.
Would you like to learn how to embrace the healing powers of your mind and body? Come to Edna Castillo's workshop on Sunday, June 11th, to learn 4 simple yet effective daily practices to facilitate your body's natural healing powers. You'll gain a deeper understanding of the genius within you, learning the science behind it. Move confidently towards a more vibrant and resilient well-being.
Would you like to learn more about Unity beliefs, principles, and history? Join Reverend Kristin for the Unity Basics class starting Thursday, June 8th at 7 p.m. The class will be held in the Unity Sanctuary and is open to everyone. All 3 sessions are required to become a member. Please sign up on the patio or email office@unityofwalnutcreek.org.
And now I'd like to invite Tyler to the platform for a fun announcement.
Yeah, give some room.
All right, now it's time to get out on the patio, enjoy the sun, and get funky. I hope you got your concert tickets, but if you don't, you still can. Narayan and Janet, you remember those guys? Amazing fusion world jazz grooves. So we'll be out there on the patio boogieing down, and our own dance queen Zula is giving dance lessons. If you come right at 6:30, she's going to get us funky as well. But it's just a great chance to get outside. It's really the launch of our summer concert series. We got some great stuff coming. So hold on. But June 3rd, get your tickets in the bookstore or on the website. See you there.
Please see our website for full listing, registration, and login information for all of our events. You may also pick up flyers on the patio and register for events in our bookstore.
As we prepare for a time of meditation, please join me in taking a conscious breath and affirming our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We begin with the reading, followed by music, guided meditation, and silence.
As I share this community prayer reading, it might take a little longer than the normal reading, so bear with me. Tomorrow is Memorial Day, a day of remembrance. Let's give thanks for our military troops who give us the gift of freedom and safety. And remember those who has lost their lives around the world, especially in active war and current conflicts. As we exhale this very breath, let's imagine peace spreading across the world right now. Let's remember the children, teachers, and school staff members who have tragically died in gun violence at their schools. May these souls be at peace as we co-create safe and peaceful havens of our schools and community gathering places. Let's join the chant, Women, Life, Freedom, on behalf of women of Iran who have been unjustly killed, maimed, and silenced. Let's stand with them in life and freedom for all. Let's recall George Floyd, whose death on Memorial Day 3 years ago awakened the world to police brutality and injustice for people of color. We honor George and the many names we speak who died without justice. Let's affirm divine justice established in their wake. Let's honor those who have helped us spiritually awaken. Master teachers such as Jesus and all the visionaries, saints, and martyrs across the world's religion. Let's honor of those who've named or heard in our hearts right now. Let's sacrifice is not in vain. Their sacrifice is not in vain. They have inspired us to wake up.
Please sing along if you wish. I am remembering who I am. 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 I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
And as we take a nice deep breath into the center of our beings, perhaps you will continue to hear the chant echoing throughout. Or your mind will continue to sing. With every breath, we drop deeper and deeper through the layers of self to the deepest I, the I am. There at the center of our being, in the very heart of our hearts, lies the essence of I am, of who you are. It is peace and presence, power, light, love, joy. This truth living inside of us can be called upon at any time to fulfill whatever need we have, to meet any challenge in our lives, to celebrate with us, to guide our way, to remind us that we are loved and that we are love itself. It is the light that is cast upon our path and that shines from the very essence of our soul in every direction. It gives us clarity, decisiveness, confidence, faith. As we speak of it now, as we become present to it, it's as if that very core of our being begins to grow and expand like light and energy and love. Love that flows more fully and completely now. Love unleashed from its prison. Love allowed to flow through the now open doors and windows of our hearts. Love makes its way to touch every cell of our being and to flow from us out into the world. The more we focus here, the more we drop into who we are. And remember, I am remembering now. And the more I remember, the more I feel, the more I know myself to be this I am, this love, this light, this truth. And so let us bask in all that we are in a few moments of sacred silence, honoring the deep self, the I am, in the silence. So as we bask in this light and love that we have recalled, just taking a few more conscious breaths as you breathe in, letting that energy and attention intensify in the very center of your being. The center of the center. And as you breathe out, let it spread out throughout your body and beyond. I am remembering, I am knowing, I'm experiencing and feeling the truth of who I am. And should I forget when I get up and move around, let me take one conscious breath back in and back out. Reset once again in the truth that I am divine. And so it is.
I am remembering who I am. 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 I am remembering. I
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feel like I'm walking on marbles. Can't steal the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my feet beneath me? I'll just feel my heart pounding. Something's calling me, little bit deeper than I ever been before. Something calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. A long dark night, my soul wanders. Can't see the light that moves in me. If God is everything and everything around me, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me, little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me, little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever known. Before. Oh Lord, Lord, oh Lord, Lord, take me deeper than I've been before. Something's calling me, little bit deeper than I've ever been before.
I got so caught up, I kind of lost my place. My turn. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. That's one of my favorites. So I'm just like, good stuff, huh? Yeah. I know I say this a lot, but sometimes it's just like, I don't want to speak after a song. And I'm not really sure what to do about that. Just take a minute. Thank you. Yeah. Let's just do that. Let's just take a minute. Let's just let the energy, the song, the words seep in. Because that's really what it's all about, isn't it? Being called. Being called to be here, being called to live this life, to be on this planet at this time, in this moment, to be who you are as a unique soul. All of that divinely ordered. And when we take a moment to pause and think about that, it's like, oh, right, that's what this is about. You know, when we get busy and we get distracted and we get worried and we get anxious and we get stuck in all the to-dos of life or whatever it may be, and then something's calling me home, recalling me to my spirit. Yeah, it's good stuff. Happy Memorial Day. So, of course, on this Memorial Day, as Candy so beautifully read earlier, thank you, Candy. Yeah. We are honoring our military veterans, such as herself and Mike, our Sunday coordinator, and many others. If you serve in the military or have, would you stand and let us honor you? Thank you. Thank you for your service. And thank you, of course, to all those who we have made their transition that we love. We honor them today, too. And today, in our message, really what we're talking about is also remembering our spiritual identity, remembering the truth of who we are. So thanks to all of you online who maybe, I hope you stood in your living rooms if you're serving in the military, and those of you outside. So one pathway to this true essence of who we are, to our spiritual identity, is by being authentic, right? Being authentically ourselves, even our relative personality selves, being authentically who we are, and bringing what it is that we have to bring in all the capacity and the wholeness of who we are. And one person who did that really well made her transition this week that I want to honor, rock icon Tina Turner. She was authentic, she was talented, she was inspirational in my mind, and maybe you have other ways that you might express the traits that you would want to portray of hers. Angela Bassett played her in the movie about her life, What's Love Got to Do with It? And Angela said that through her courage to tell her story, through her commitment, through her determination to help others, that Tina Turner showed those who live in fear what a beautiful future they could have, filled with love and compassion and freedom, and what it could look like. Tina showed us more than we could have ever asked, Angela said. She gave us more than we ever could have asked. She gave us her whole self. And that's really the calling, isn't it? To bring forward our whole self, our whole being, all aspects of our being into life and engage in that way. Then life becomes like full of fiery passion and excitement and joy, and even quiet moments, right, of joy. It doesn't always have to be this big out loud expression, although it may be that too. But it's both. It's whatever is authentically true in the moment of who we are and how we're meeting it. So what would it look like for you if you were to give your whole self to the world? All of it, your whole self. Do you do that? Or do you hold back some pieces and parts? Or maybe even the very best part of yourself you hold back. Many of us do. Many of us cover up, hold back, play small. And so it is for us to ask ourselves, in what ways am I doing that? Am I blocking the light and the love and the truth and the joy for coming through? And how can I begin to unblock that way? To stop it, in other words. And underneath it all, then, the question becomes, who are you really? Let's explore that today, your true self. Are you in? Yeah. All right, very good. So let's start at the beginning by setting the record straight from your birth. All right? Was anybody ever told you were born of original sin? Or you heard it in, not maybe personally, but you heard it in the culture and your religious upbringing, so you figured as a human being, I guess that includes me. Born of original sin. So this idea, of course, is that humans come in inherently sinful, mistaken in some way. Maybe you learned this from an authority figure, through church, parent, school, whatever, an adult who you were young and impressionable and trusted, and so you took this in, drank this thing in that says that you are born of sin. So our biggest spiritual work on our journey is usually to unlearn the untruths that were given to us, right? Because by unlearning, by freeing ourselves, then the truth can come forward for us. So let's take a look even further back to the beginning of all humanity. And our story in our culture and in our Christian heritage, of course, comes from Genesis. There are creation stories from all around the world in all different kinds of spiritual traditions. And you might prefer, instead of thinking of a creator and a source, that the divine intelligence of the universe initiated the evolution of all life forms. So that we can just kind of clean up that conflict that about creation and evolution. It doesn't have to be a conflict. It's about that spark, right? That spark, that idea, that blueprint of you that was initiated and then evolved into who you are today. Pretty magnificent. Something powerful must have done that, created that, thought of that, called it in. And so in Genesis, the source creator says, as they're about to create humans, let us create them in our image. And so humans were created in the image and the likeness of Spirit. And so then, after we were created, what did the source creator do? It said, it's good. You're good. You're good from the very start, all the way back from the beginning. You were not born needing to repent. You did not come in as a sweet little innocent infant with those sort of otherworldly eyes looking at your parents and need to purify yourself or to repent in any way. You came in instead in original blessing, in original virtue of the source, made in the image and the likeness of Spirit. So this damaging church teaching, sin, we could think of it as an acronym, self-imposed negativity. And then collectively taken self-imposed negativity. No wonder it's tough in life to slug it out, right? With some of these beliefs that still live on inside of us. And so the work, of course, is to get to what's true, what resonates for us. When I was growing up, there was a habit in my household that my mom and my sisters did and that I picked up. When we would make a mistake, we would get frustrated with ourselves and we would say, "What's wrong with me?" And it was just a common thing, right? So I didn't think I just picked it up. I was the youngest kid. I just started doing it too. Interesting, I never noticed my dad do it, but all the women in the house did it. And so years into Unity, I caught myself one day doing that. And I thought, wow, nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with my mom. Nothing's wrong with my sisters. Nothing's wrong with you. Let's stop saying that because it's not true. And so it's based out of these teachings. And what we need to know is that, yes, we make mistakes. And that's really what sin means. Missing the mark, making a mistake. That's the literal meaning of it. And mistakes actually help us get closer to the source of our being, interestingly enough. Because as we make mistakes, right, we grow, we learn, we expand our capacity to forgive, we expand our capacity to have compassion. And all of that gets us closer to who we are in truth, to the expression of the divine essence that we are. So mistakes, not such a bad thing. As spiritual beings then coming into the world, we needed to have an ego to kind of learn how to navigate, right? We come into this physical body, into this physical world. It's all new. What do I do with this thing, this vehicle, and this very physical world? I'm a spiritual being. Remember, I'm made of light and love and purity, and I come and now I have form. Now I have what seems like limitation. So now what? So this developing ego to help us function in the world is really important, isn't it? But the thing about the ego is it's meant to be supported by Spirit. It's meant to be in service to Spirit. Where we go wrong is we think it's supposed to be in charge. We think it's supposed to be running the show. And then we forget we have a spirit at all. We forget we have this essence and power and presence and peace and joy and all this stuff to access. We just think that all we got is an intellectual mind and a physical body, and we better just, do the best we can out there. And so it's that remembering once again. Because the ego, of course, will grasp for control. It'll get fearful and anxious. When we put it in the driver's seat, that's when it gets fearful and anxious. When we say, you're in charge, it's like putting the toddler in charge. And then just saying, figure it out, run the household, see how it goes, and it does the best it can. Brenly and I, years ago, had a really sweet dog named Chaos. Be mindful of what you name your pets. So after we moved one time, a couple of service people came to the house on different occasions, and Chaos's behavior became more erratic, unpredictable, and actually dangerous. On both occasions, he greeted the service person by running right up to him and biting them. And I thought, what is the reason for this? And realized it was because we, Brenly and I, had not been centered in our own power, in our own new home, in this new space, to let him know that he was safe, that he didn't need to patrol the house. He didn't need to be responsible for everybody's safety. But it was a big miss on our part that we weren't doing that. We weren't paying attention. Maybe we were caught up in some of the chaos of moving. And so it's that process that when we take charge, when we ground in our spirit, we let our ego know it can do its job and be at ease. So, it's all about fear, isn't it? The saying, false evidence appearing real is what fear stands for. And so it's that recognition that fear is what gets in our way, and that when we are in that place, we can move to access and live from the divine instead. Author Sonia Choquette likens the ego also to a barking dog. Because that's really the moral of the story of chaos, is that if your ego is showing up like a barking dog or a biting dog, that it's time to recenter, right? It's time to ground. So I want to invite you into an exercise to close your eyes if you wish, and just move to your heart for a couple of breaths. And imagine, if you will, that your ego is a barking dog. Let the image of that dog arise in your heart, in your mind's eye. You might notice what kind of dog it is, what colors, what it looks like, and how it's behaving. Then I invite you to give the dog a name. And now, if you will, shift your attention to the spirit of your being. Taking a few breaths there. And how does your spirit show up as you behold your spirit? What are some of the characteristics of your spirit? And invite you to name your spirit. And now, centered in that spirit, let's call the barking dog to us. With spirit in charge, how does the barking dog behave? And notice how you feel when you're centered here in your spirit. Look around you. How does your life look? How does it feel from this place? And when you're ready, I invite you to come back into this place. From that I am within us all springs forth a unique expression, your soul's expression. Some ways that you have been called to be here on earth, to show up, to share your gifts. And a lot of times we don't even, or sometimes anyway, we don't even know what our gifts are really until we're called into them, till we're called to be them and to express them in some way. Such was the case for Moses. Remember, Moses was out with his father-in-law's Jethro's flock, tending the sheep, when he noticed that this bush was on fire. And as he was watching the bush, he noticed that it wasn't consuming itself. It just kept blazing and blazing. And he went to look a little closer, like, what the heck is that? Why? And as he was getting closer, he hears someone calling him out of the bush. Moses, Moses, come closer, come closer. Moses says, here I am. And stops there because he's not quite sure what's going to happen when he gets closer to the bush. And out of the bush is expressed, I'm the God of your ancestors that's speaking to you. Take off your sandals, you're on holy ground. So Moses takes off his sandals and he's there to hear what the God of his ancestors and himself, his father, has to say. And so God says, I hear the cry of the people from the Israelites from Egypt who are enslaved. I hear the misery and the pain, and I want you to free them. I'm going to send you to the Pharaoh to free them. And Moses does one of these. Who, me? Moses stuttered. Moses was a shepherd. He didn't feel equipped to go and free all of the people from Egypt and go direct to the Pharaoh. And so he wasn't quite sure that God had the right person. He continued to try to question, but God wasn't having it. Trust me, I'll be with you, is basically the answer he got. So Moses says, he realizes he's not going to get out of this. So he says, okay, so I go down to the Israelites, and I'm supposed to tell them who sent me? What's your name? And God says, I am who I am. I am who I am. And then God says, just tell him the I am sent you. And this is my name forever the name you shall call me, generation to generation, the I am. So we don't often use that when we talk about, we don't often say the I am when we're talking about God, but that, of course, is our second principle. This idea that the I am is in us, that it is the very essence of God. It is the name of God from generation to generation. It's that idea that humankind is inherently good and has, of course, the Spirit within. And knowing that the I am is the highest part of us, consider for a moment how we use the I am, what we follow those two words with, what we say about ourselves frequently. Remember the old admonishment, don't take God's name in vain? That would be it, right? It's how we speak of the I am. So I'm actually giving this talk for myself today, and I'm hoping that you get something out of it. I realized this week, I was like, I had this day where I was just so exhausted, and I was just like, it was like, felt like pushing a boulder uphill all day. And a couple of people asked me how I was, and I was like, oh, I'm so tired. And, it was afterwards that I realized, like, how does that serve? That doesn't really serve. Now, you can be honest about the human temporary condition you're in. It's not about not being authentic. You can say, my body needs more rest today. My body's dragging a little bit today. But the I am, The I am doesn't get tired. The I am doesn't get sick. The I am is vitality and energy and wholeness and truth. And so if we leave that in its sacred space, in its sacred container, it's easier for us to be impeccable with our word, for one thing, and to be aligned with that truth and feel the power of it when we speak of it, not drain the power by using it in sloppy ways. And so it's that recognition that even by the way we speak can make a big difference in our grounding and centering in this truth and not forgetting so much who we are. So recalling our deepest selves, there are these seemingly many selves of us, right? Many ways we show up. There's many roles we play in the world, and in those different ways that we might show up in relationship with people, we might behave and think and just feel in different ways, right? So it suddenly feels like there's all these little selves running around. But those are just sort of layers of the onion. And the truth is, as Eileen brought to our noon meditation this week, there's the deepest I. The deepest I. And that's really what we're after, is the deepest I, the truest self. And the surest way I have found to get there is through silence, through stillness. Even if it's just a few moments, even if it's just a breath now and then, a conscious breath or two to say, oh, okay, there I am. Here I am, ready to be called, ready to be of service, or just ready to receive whatever it is I need: comfort, love, truth, guidance. We'll know that we've arrived when we feel the peace, when we feel the wisdom, when we feel the joy of being connected to the truth of who we are. When we remember who we are present more to the joy of life. There's a story told by Jerry Braza in a book, Moment by Moment. It's a little adaptation of that. And in the story, there's a family getting ready to go off for the day. And Pat says to Jerry, I've got to run a bunch of errands this morning. I've got places to be. I've got an appointment. Can you take the kids? And Jerry says, oh, man, I already have a really busy day. I've got places to be too. Oh, okay, fine. Hurry up, kids. Get in the car. We got to go. So the kids pile in, and Jerry's driving by looking at his watch continuously and thinking about all the moves he can make to cut off a little time. So he's thinking to himself, oh, this person in front of me must be sightseeing. How am I going to get around them? And so when I have an opportunity, I'm going to cut over. And constantly looking at the GPS. Why isn't the GPS rerouting me a faster way? Is there a shortcut? I think I knew of a shortcut. So in all these things, all this, is happening. And then, oh no, up they come to the railroad crossing. And he doesn't get through. The lights start flashing. The gate comes down. Now Jerry is beside himself, right? He's trying not to act up too much in front of the kids, so it's like it's all mostly happening mentally, except that his, fingers are drumming very anxiously on the steering wheel while he continues to think about, as soon as he gets through, which shortcuts he's going to take and which ways he can go. And, he's probably not breathing very fully, and there's all that going on, maybe a little beaded sweat on the brow, And in all of that cacophony that's happening mentally, suddenly, it gets interrupted with this sweet, small voice from the back seat. Daddy, Daddy, we're so lucky. We get to watch the train go by. And everything melts away, right? That's how we shift into the truth, right? We get sometimes called out of it, all out of our busyness of mind. And in that present moment, we drop in and we touch the truth, fully there. And it's there that we want to dwell. It's there that we want to live. When we forget who we are, we show up anxious, we show up fearful, we show up stressed. When we remember who we are, we're present to joy. It's as simple as that. So how can we remember? What are some things that we can consciously do to start cutting to the core belief about who we are? Well, one thing is to ask the right question. Don't ask what's wrong with me. Ask what's right with me. And actually write it down. I encourage us to make that a regular practice where we write everything down that's right with me. Imagine if you started every day and you wrote a list of everything that was right with you. How different things would go for you in that day, right? Feeling better, feeling good about yourself and about your life as you go out the door, knowing what's right with you helps us stay aligned. And then to see the I am, to make a conscious effort to look for it, to see the I am in others, in ourselves, to show up in that way. When we stop pushing through life, when we stop judging everything that doesn't suit us, we keep ourselves more open to that kind of seeing to the truth, the goodness and the life around us and within each other. And with practice, then a new habit forms where it's an expected thing. We expect to see the divine. We expect that when we engage with people, that's what we're going to be engaging with, was the very highest part of them, and therefore the very highest part of us coming forward. And with that expectancy and that habit, there's less and less of the kinds of things that drain the life and energy out of us as we move through life. And there's more and more of the Christ-like characteristics coming through for us when we remember. Actions flow from the center place. And so we show up in those ways that are centered in that place. When we act from our divine guidance, from our innate presence, when we remember, then everything becomes sort of natural out of that space. The old thoughts and beliefs, the things that were dragging us down, are replaced now with this newer, shinier way of being. We often put spiritual masters on pedestals, right? And so that is the place we will never reach, is what we often think in our minds. Yet spiritual masters, such as Jesus, said, "These things I do, and greater things shall you do." The only difference, really, between Jesus and your favorite spiritual master or your favorite spiritual master and you is that Jesus and they never forgot. They always remembered who they were. That's the only difference. And so the remembering is all there is to this spiritual walk, in essence. And the more we practice, the less we forget. The more we remember, the more we dwell in that place, and life flows in a divine way from there. So if we keep up our I am remembrance practices, we will forget far less. So let's let this Memorial Day be all that it always is in its honoring and its reverence, and let it really also be a remembering of our spiritual truth of who we are. Let's move through our days recalling our deepest selves, remembering this very essence. I invite you to say this with me. Together? I recall my deepest self. I remember who I am. And so it is.
Oh, thank you so much, Kristin, for that beautiful message on remembering. I am. Thank you.
Because it's the 5th Tuesday of May, the Spiritual Growth Circle will not meet this Tuesday. Like, today's not Tuesday, today's Sunday. The Spiritual Growth Circle will meet next week. We'll meet a week next. A week.
June 6th.
Thanks.
They'll be back.
Yep.
Our prayer chaplains are available after this service to provide personal prayer support. If you are a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Our prayer chaplains wear the lavender stoles.
Whether you have a joy or concern on your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
Now let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your, there it is, a little delayed. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to give financially to this community. In addition to checks and cash, you may download the Give app, scan the QR code on the back of the yellow card in the back of each chair, or set up bill pay through your bank. And for those of you at home, you may click on the donate button on our Watch Live page.
I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat our affirmation together. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Rise up this morning, rise with the smiling sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorsteps, singing sweet song, melodies pure and true. This is my message to you. Yes, singing, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Rise up this morning with the rising sun. 3 little birds stepped on my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true. This is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. One more time. Rise up this morning with the smiling sun. 3 little birds stepped on my window, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true. This is my message to you. Well, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright.
That's okay. It takes time to gather that much prosperity. If you can go around again if you want. We thank you, Spirit, for the abundant good that is represented here, the abundant goodness that is in each of the givers' hearts that are present here, that are online with us, that are outside, that are a part of this community, that are coming to this community, that are being attracted, that are being called and pulled and don't even know why. Here we are, open to receive the abundant good that flows through us, a growing community, growing individuals, and the spiritual I am at the center of it all. Let's bless it together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is.
Let's welcome the children. We are a circle of love. We are a circle of light. Come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of light. The light in you and the light in me are one. The light in you and the light in me are one.
Good morning, everyone. Great to see you. We had an awesome group of kids today. Not all of them made it up on stage, but we're sending love and blessings to all of them as they're around the campus. But these kids are representing. We had fun today, didn't we? Yes. Another fun thing that we do here at Unity is we have our summer camp coming up. It's a summer day camp. It's a week of fun and exploring spirituality through art and crafts, and then we play in the water too. And that's June 26th through the 30th. So if you're looking, if you want to sign your kids up or your grandkids up or your neighbor kids up, registration is open, and we're always looking for people to volunteer, whether it's for the day or for an hour. I see Martha Joy here. She came last year and played violin for us. We've had other people offer yoga, and Danae's brought her amazing tortoise, Merlin, to share with the kids. So maybe you have a special gift or a special joy or something that you want to come share with the kids, or maybe you just want to help me do tie-dye and set up sprinklers. Whatever you want to do, we'd be happy to have you, and you can find out more information on our website. So thank you.
I've been around during that week, and it is like joy, 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 exponentially present. So if you want to be in that energy, you might want to help Michelle out in some way. Well, let's bless the children and Michelle together. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you.
Right, and we'll close with Wherever I Am. Please rise in body or in spirit. If you want to hold hands, put your hands out. If you don't want to hold hands, you want to just go stay inward, that's great. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God
Well, let's remember this week. You are the light and the love and the peace on earth right now. So let your light shine. Have fun and spread joy.